Alright, y'all. This is the truth about what happened between Keith Murray and Mobb Deep, aka Prodigy. Now, you've heard both sides of this story already. You can go on YouTube and probably watch two versions of what happened. But there's really one story and one truth. So let's get to it. Now, Keith Murray came out with the most beautifulest thing in the world and all that stuff at the time. And at that time, him, Redman, and Eric Sermon was talking about space stuff and just already out there bombazied out and you know, they were really talking about Redman when they was talking about in the verse in the Mobb Deep song on their first album. Not the first album, the second one. The first one to be the Takeoff, the infamous album. Now, when he said that on the first skit, oh yeah, and for those dudes who talking about how high they get, all that space stuff that really don't make no sense, don't say nothing to me when you see me. I might just punch you in the face just for living. Talking about them having half-ass rhymes, bragging about how high you get. You know, it was about Redman. And why that beef was like, why it meant so much to them, I don't really know. But Redman really didn't get into it with them. Like, he didn't take the bait. But Keith Murray is the battle rapper. Like, if you wanted to battle somebody rhyming, he was going to do it in the streets, and he would do it on the wax. You know, and at that time, it was on. You know, and they just got tired of it. So Keith Murray made it on his Enigma CD. You know, he's talking about some, you know, these dudes spending money dissing me on record. You know what I'm saying? Like, won't waste your time and your energy and money dissing me on record. And all of this, you know, nonsense that was going on. So, at this time, Onyx had a video shoot that they was doing, and probably at the Urban Plaza where everybody else meet. And my God, what happened? Was it X1? X1 was there, and Keith Murray, a couple of other rappers was there. Big Pun, a couple of them. A lot of local rappers at the time was in the video. And Keith Murray walks up to what was that? Mobb Deep. I think it was Prodigy. Not Prodigy, but Habit came and grabbed him and was like, yo, man, you know, the verse wasn't about you, you know what I'm saying? We weren't doing this and that. And blah, 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 blah. But Prodigy's running his mouth. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he was upset about it, because Prodigy walking around, you know, like bragging, you know, like talking about him and stuff. So he's like, dude, I heard you got a verse about me. So this is the first time they met face to face. You know, his man's hearing about it. He's like, oh, my man's is telling me you dissing me. And he was like, dude, like, man, get out of my face type stuff. Like, who is you? Like, nah, I ain't even talking about you, but who are you? You know, to me. You know, that's how Mobb Deep was looking at Keith Murray. Like, to me, you're nobody. Like, are you serious? Like, because, you know, Mob was there deep. Prodigy was there real deep. He wasn't worried about nothing at the video shoot. Murray rode with about 3-4 people. But his 3-4 people he rode with are down for whatever. It was Eric Kennedy and 50 grand. And 50 grand is about as crazier than anybody I've ever known. Because 50 grand was smoked out and on some other stuff all the time. Like, he would set it off in an instant and had you in the middle of a homo case. 50 grand is not the one you want to be messing with. And that was Keith Murray's road dog. Now, they go to the tunnel because that's where they hung out and kicked it. Prodigy's there. He is that deep with about 15 dudes. And they saw Keith Murray in the tunnel early on, and they just had dirty looks. They saw each other, didn't speak, the whole nine. So they eyeballing each other, like dirty looking each other the whole night. And everybody mans is like, dude, man, your mans is a little ill. And Trigger the Gambler was there, Smooth the Hustler. Who else was in the tunnel that night? X1 was there. There's a couple other artists there. What's his name? Lil Sean. A couple other artists was there that night. And Prodigy and them, you know, they sitting at the table. It's like 3 of them. And they focused. They were there talking about, you know, like, man, Prodigy, like, man, we should snuff him. So Keith Murray go to the bathroom at the same time. Like, Prodigy and his dudes come out the bathroom, and they just tired. They just ready to set it off. So they was outside doing what they do, you know, just hanging out, smoking or whatever. The party's late. Prodigy standing outside. Keith Murray and them decided to leave the club. They was on their way home. They was like, look, this is lame, this night, let's leave. So they come outside, and then his guys was pointing at rapping Noid. And Noid was with Prodigy at the time. And he was like, yo, look, that dude and them go right now. Now the 15 dudes who was with them was like Twin Gambino and the rest of them other dudes from Infamous Mob. Most of them broke out and they wasn't really around. So it was like maybe 3 dudes with Prodigy and about 3 dudes that was with Murray. So when Murray looked at him, was like, man, I'm finna approach this dude again. So Murray jumped up in his face while his boys arguing with Noid. You know, 50 grand them arguing at Noid, like, yeah, you be, and, you know, Noid ain't backing down. Next thing you know, Keith Murray's talking to Prodigy and was like, yeah. Now, be man enough to say it to my face. And Prodigy's like, what? You really want to do this? And then he just hit Prodigy with an overhand right. He hit Prodigy with an overhand right, and Prodigy started running. He snuffed him right in the face. He started running. Then 50 grand slammed Noid to the floor, and they kicked and stomped on Noid and Gambino. So Noid is fighting, Gambino's fighting, and Noid and them, and they got Gambino under the car. Twin Gambino, they had stomped him to the point he had fell off he was on the street, and he ended up rolling under the car to keep them from stomping him. And then they got Noid out there, and they hit him, and here come the police sirens. The police sirens come, they come down there, and it's snow out, it's wintertime. So Prodigy, he's gone. I mean, he pulled a ghost move. I mean, he got punched, and Keith Murray didn't go chasing him. And once he took the hit and went running, Murray and them talking to the cops was like, look, y'all just take that around the corner. Just clear that away from the club. We don't want that here. Like, the cops went there to take nobody to jail. They was like, just get that out of here. We don't want to take it around the corner. You know, beat it. You know, they under the cars. You know, trying to keep themselves from getting stomped. Twin and know it. So, Prodigy comes back after the fact when he see the cops there, and then he come walking back. You know, and he's telling them, like, yeah, man, these dudes, this and that. So Murray and them end up walking off. You know, they went in the opposite direction. And then since that day, you know, Prodigy put out a diss record, like a Miggy went to the radio station, made a record talking about, yeah, dude snuffed me and all that, because Keith Murray was bragging like, man, I tried to blast his head off. Knock his head off his shoulders. Then Keith Murray comes with one of the illest freestyles ever against Prodigy. And if you hear that song, my goodness, that was a lyrical assault by Keith Murray I've ever heard. He was really ticked off. But phone calls were made. Once the phone calls were made, they squashed the thing over the radio. Over the phones. But Prodigy kept, you know, talking his little trash. But Eric Sermon wanted to put everything to bed. You know, like, we don't need this. We got bigger things on the table. Let's not cause any waves and damage some stuff with people that might be, you know, caught in the middle who want to do business. You know, so let's just put this whole thing to bed. You know, because it's silly. And that's basically what happened. And it fizzled out. But there's a lot of other things that's going on in the hip-hop world that you guys probably didn't know. A lot of beefs. Don't forget to follow the playlist. You know, the truth behind hip-hop beefs is a playlist. And once you go there and click on them, you can read all of them. Not read them, but listen to all of them. And hopefully you like them. Because all of this stuff is true. It's crazy. Some of them are not told in its entirety because we had to take people's name out for protection of themselves. You know, not incriminating certain people, saying some people were there that there wasn't. So we ain't gonna rationalize it. We just gonna tell it to you like it is, and try to edit it the best way we can. Because some people can have pending lawsuits somewhere, and last thing they need is somebody coming out saying, "Yeah, Jimmy stabbed him with the knife, and then Jimmy only stabbed him to the knife. He gave it to his cousin Ron, and Ron buried it in the backyard." And that's why the cops couldn't find it, because it was already buried by the time they got there. They buried it about 6 feet deep, right there by the lawnmower. Now, see, if you say that stuff, you don't say. Next thing you know, Ron, man, they reopening my case. So that's why we do the things that we do in the form that we do. So, enjoy yourself. I'm out.